Hello, in this video we create a login form that also allows us to sign in as an administrator. Uh, if you remember from our previous video that we created for the login to the system, the login form was something like this, but I modify and rearrange the controls. So you need to rearrange the controls according to your requirements, but these important things should be available in the video. The first thing is the I rename some text boxes and buttons and change the text box itself. In the previous video I make this a masked text box that was needed for student login, because the student ID is an 8-digit number. So we want to generalize this, and we remove the masked text box and we place a plain text box, normal text box here. Second thing, I need to mention is that the name of this text box should be something generic, txt login ID, and the txt password is okay. This is a checkbox. When this checkbox is on, is clicked on, then we understand that an administrator wants to log into the system. So the name of this checkbox is chk admin. Then we have two buttons, button login and btn login, register, btn register. One thing I need to mention is that I'm continuing the previous tutorial. So if you want to follow this one, so you need to solve the previous one and then you can follow this. Other thing I need to mention is the code behind the login button. We will use this same code but with a little bit of modification. So for this purpose, we create two functions, two submodules, and we authenticate the user. So we authenticate the user based upon his credential, but also based upon the checkbox. So if it's administrator, we call a function that deals the retrieval and comparison of data for the administrator, and vice versa for the student. So I'm going to delete this complete code from here. We will rewrite it in other functions, but as I'm writing it, then I will be explaining also. So when the login button is clicked, we make a check here. If the chk admin dot checked, then here we call a function. We can say authenticate as admin, and if it's not checked on, if we say authenticate as student. For this purpose, I'm going to create two functions here. I call it the one authenticate admin. Uh, yeah, admin. We want to send two values. One the my value str login ID, is string, and then by value str password. We pass the two arguments, the login ID and the password, to this function, and then it will compare this with the database. Okay, this is authenticate admin. We create another function. You can, yeah, you can copy this completely and just rename it authenticate student. Okay, so here we said authenticate admin, so call this function and send the values from the two text boxes on the login form. The first text box is txt login id dot text. The other one is txt pw dot text. Okay, in the second case, you can say you can call authenticate student. We pass the same credentials, so we copy it from here and we paste it here. Okay, these basic things, uh, we create the basic structure of our code. Now we add some functionality to these functions, and these functions are no more different than the previous one. But the trick here is that you will need another table also, another data set also. So yeah, these controls here are the same as from the previous video. The library dataset, the student table adapter, the table adapter manager. I add one more table to this library dataset. So you can select this one, configure data source with wizard. Now we are going to add one more table to this dataset, and that will be the administrator dataset. And when the authentication uh, happens, authentication means when we compare the provided values with the values in the database, then we open a particular form. If it's a student, then we open a student management form, data management form, and if it's administrator, we open the administrator page, administrator panel, whatever you call it. I created a table chairperson in the database library with these three fields. One is the username, the password, and the full name of the chairperson. We can call the administrator, whatever you call it. So um, the second thing is the student we selected already, but you need to just select these two tables. One is already selected, and the next one we select the chairperson. Finish it. If you see here, you will notice that now we have two tables in the data set. Okay. If you remember, we modify the data set here with the designer. Previously, we add these two more functions to the student table adapter module. One was the fill by student ID and get data by student ID. The other was fill by student login and the get data by student login. In this, we do the same here in the chairperson module as well. We will add a query here, and we will select username, password, name from chairman database, chairperson database, where user underscore name, this username is equal to, we make this query parameterized. We provide the values from the text box, so it will compare in the database and return record if a match is occurred. It admin login ID param and this password. Second thing, pass is equal to admin login pass param. Okay, so we have fill by login, admin login. You can call it admin login, and get data by admin login. Next, then finish. So we have a function now. You can extend this to say the two functions are created here, and okay, first the second thing is that you need to compile, clean the solution and rebuild it, so that you can find some more components here. My application components. Here you can see chairperson table adapter also appears here. So you need to drag it here. Uh, chairperson table adapter, and you will need you can use the same dataset, the previous one, just you need the adapter. You can rename it and remove the one here. Okay. Next thing is to do the authentication code here. The function, these two functions, the code is almost the same. In the first case we call the chairperson adapter, and in the second we call it student adapter. So almost it's the same, the code will be the same. If you remember, we declared here a variable as integer, which will store the number of records if a match is occurred. So you can call chairperson table adapter dot fill by admin login, as you remember, and then you here provide this str login and str password, str login, str password. So it takes these two arguments, and okay, the first one should be the me dot library dataset dot chairperson, which table you want to table of the dataset that you want to fill with this information. Okay. We say that if the number records is exactly equal to 1, it means that a match has occurred in the database. So we do something here. No, okay. If the number records equal to 1, then we say we declare two variables here. One variable. This variable will hold the values, the login ID and the password from the database. Dem db login ID is string equal to me dot library dataset dot chairperson dot login. uh, you can check here, it's a username, we call it username. Dot columns dot no, but if you remember, okay, we make a mistake here. We need to select the table also. Now we have two tables in the database, in the library dataset. So either you can use the integer base 01, or the you can use okay, no, this means that which row we want to select in chairman person. Sorry about that. Dot username. So 0 means the first row, and we are exactly having one row in our dataset. In our dataset, if a match has been occurred, so we exactly call this 0 row and dot username. db pass as string equal to me dot library dataset dot chairname 0 dot password. Okay, now we want to make a comparison here, just to be sure. Compare, I can write a comment here, compare the db values with user admin provided values. And so we do a simple comparison here. If db login dot equals with str login, these are the provided values. You cannot use this parentheses, it's a C++ habit. db path dot equals str bar. If these two are equal, so we say admin is authenticated and open admin main page slash form. You can call it form or page, it's the same. Okay, so I didn't show in the beginning. I have created admin main page here, so you can create your own. So now we have two main pages. One is the admin main, this page, and one is the main, this one. So this main interface is for student, and this one is admin main.vb is for the administrator. So we open one at a time. If it's an administrator, we open this form, and if it's a user, we open the main.vb. If you remember from the main.vb, if you go to the main function, uh, here we have a property here, student ID. This was helping us to receive information from the login form or the registration form or different forms, and based upon this information we only display the record of the student whose ID is equal to this ID. So we do the same for the administrator also. So in the admin main, you can go to the code view here. it's not possible that the code section is the same. Yeah. Here declare a mm, admin ID as string, and then we declare a property to a public property. Yeah, this one, admin ID as string. So we need to write the get and set function. Okay, you can end the property here. What's the error? Insert the missing get and the set. Okay, in the get we return this ID, okay? And in the set we assign some value for storing this variable. Come back to the login form, and here we need to pass this admin ID to this particular form. So that can be done here by declaring a variable, then admin FRM as admin main. If you click here, this is the name. We declare an instance admin FRM dot admin ID that we created the property that we just created. We provide the DB login ID. The next thing is to show if the form dot show, and close this form, the login form. We need to write an if statement. If the credentials are correct, we need to write an else statement also. If the credentials are not correct, so we display a message not show. This is an error message. Login ID or password is not correct. Please try again. This is when the credentials are not correct, and then you can call return exit from the code. So if you can call here return as well. If we need to also show that no record is found in the database for the top one, we also need to have a default error message that we didn't do. Default message, and the default message the same as here. Okay, now we write code for the authenticate student here, and it's more or less this code is the same, so I'm copying here this complete code here, and the only a few things I need to change is this one. This is the student table adapter. It has a function filled by student login. You need to change this as well. Dot student, and the ID and the password is the same for these arguments. Here you need to change the student 0 dot student ID. Here you need to be the same password, and yeah, it's the same. Here you need to declare admin. You can say student is authenticated, open main page, this one. So we create a main form here. Here we have another property, student ID. So we do the login ID, and you can student equivalent. And this is this function. You can see it was almost the same, but you need to get the data from the student table, and here you need to get data from the chairperson table. So that was the difference. Furthermore, if the registration form, no, sorry, the admin form, you can do the same as we did in the previous one. If the administrator is logged in, we display his information here. That's easy. Uh, you can drag and drop this chairperson, but make it a detailed view here. This will be his information, and we will fill this information using the parameterized query. This will be just using the admin ID. We need to create it as well. For the sake of security, we can make this as the password jar enabled here, star, and you can disable them also, enable once. So if I said you need to have a parameterized query, and we need to add the edit with designer, right click here, query, next. We select record only when user underscore name is equal to iterate of login ID param, where user underscore name is equal to next. Fill by admin login ID, get data by admin login ID, and let finish. Go to the code section of the admin, and write something here. Here you can see it's filling by default. You can remove this, or you can change it. You can say fill by admin login, and it will require ID also, but we are providing the ID from the other form in this. So what's the okay, and this is fill by admin login, no, fill by admin ID. There is another function, this one that we just created. It takes only one argument, the admin ID. Okay, I think that's it, and we try our application. I put the main form on startup, so you can change it. this one. You can select the startup form, the login as login form. So now we clean the solution, rebuild, and then run. So I have one ID, the student ID. It's a 8-digit ID, and the password is something. Let me say login. Or there is some problem. Object reference not set to an instance of object. Okay, the error is we forgot to use the new keyword for something. Here you need to write new so that an instance is created for you. New string. Oh, okay, not here. Here is new name. This will create a new name because we didn't set a reference to the created variable. Or in this case as well, yeah. So in both cases we forget about that. We run again. Okay, this is when the administrator field is not selected. I have created one uh, record in the administrator table, the chairperson table, and that record is the that we need to create by default, because we do not need to provide a registration form for the admin, and he is that must be kept secure. So for that purpose I am logging as administrator admin at library.com. library.com name admin at 123. So we can see that if we select the checkbox, so we are open with the administrator panel. You can also check the errors if you provide a wrong ID, but I hope it will work, and I will not take more time of yours. The video is already crossed 20 minutes, so see you then. Bye bye.